listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. Well, hey there, and welcome to episode 95 here on the Art of Homeschooling podcast. As the homeschooling mentor here at Art of Homeschooling, I've had the honor of helping hundreds, maybe even thousands of parents find ways to make homeschooling work for them and their families. So first, I just want to say I'm so grateful to you. I'm so grateful for all that you do for your children. You're helping make the world a better place. And I know that takes commitment, determination, and a heck of a lot of dedication. Today, I want to talk about curiosity. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite words, curiosity, and how curiosity can really be the antidote to overwhelm. In fact, I think it's the very best remedy for overwhelm. Because here's the thing. As I talk to all the homeschooling parents I support and mentor, I find that this sense of overwhelm can be our biggest challenge sometimes. Everyone who does a one-on-one with me, a one-on-one mentor session, fills out a questionnaire, right? So that I can prepare for our session. And almost every single time the word overwhelm is in there somewhere. And as so many of you are getting ready to start a new homeschooling year right now, as I'm recording this episode, I just wanted to offer you some encouragement. I find that this sense of overwhelm can sometimes be our biggest challenge. And I have a great tool to help you deal with the inevitable overwhelm that can surface in our day-to-day lives as homeschooling parents. We often feel overwhelmed, right? I know for sure I did when I had 3 kiddos at home, homeschooling, doing all the things. We get overwhelmed, right? By all the things that need to be done, the lessons, the laundry, the meals, or we get overwhelmed by all the emotions, right? Ours and everyone else's. I often say we create and hold the space for the emotional well-being of our families. So we all know that feeling, right? That feeling of overwhelm, like there's so much to do, so much to plan, so much to cover. That feeling that we're going to drown or be buried by it all. And when that sense of overwhelm arises, we forget all that we know, right? We forget that both observation and intuition can be reliable sources of knowledge. Rudolf Steiner, the founder of the Waldorf approach, talked about observation specifically as a key assessment tool. And this is a wonderful skill for us to develop, to be able to observe our child's learning and then have our observations inform tomorrow's lessons or next week's lessons or the block that we're planning next month. But when we're overwhelmed, this all gets very, very cloudy. So today I want to share with you 3 steps to change old thought patterns, those patterns of overwhelm that can come up again and again, and discover your own sense of peace. And here's the big hint. Curiosity is the key. Okay, so here we go. We're going to apply this to our own thoughts and feelings to help us shift that feeling of overwhelm into a sense of calm and serenity and ease. Step one, just notice what's going on. Notice what you're feeling. It can help to name the feeling. The main idea here is to remove the natural tendency to judge and to say, oh, this is bad that I feel this way. So just notice, for example, when you wake up in the morning, feeling like you have too much to do today, right? Or when you feel like you don't have the energy to do the lessons. During our homeschooling years, I would often wake up feeling like I was already behind. Even before my feet hit the floor, I would feel like there was no way I was going to get it all done. Whatever it was, I couldn't even define it, right? But I had this overwhelming sense that I was behind and I couldn't get it all in. So just notice the feeling. And then the thought that comes up, that the thought that follows that feeling. That's step one. Step two, decide to change the thought that comes up. If you want to, it's totally your choice. If you want to stay in overwhelm, perfectly fine. And sometimes we do, right? Sometimes we just don't want, we want to wallow in it. But let's not stay there all the time. So instead of thinking, oh, I'm never going to get this all done, you might think instead, I have all the time I need for the things that matter most to me. Or if you don't believe that, and we need to believe the new thought, right? But if you don't believe it, then try this one. I'm going to just do the things that matter most today, and that will be enough. You get the idea. So decide to change the thought that comes up and create a new thought that might be a better one for you for the day. And then step three, try it out and observe how it goes. So the truth is sometimes this new thought will last for a while and then we'll slip right back into the old thought, right? Because it has become a pattern. But just observe that, right? And the next day, try it again. But the observation can be, like I said, a learning tool. It can really help us. And the key to all of this, as I said, is just getting curious. Get curious about how you're feeling. Get curious about how you think about that, how you judge it. And get curious about what you might try instead. That's the idea here. If you need to get more stern with your overwhelm, sometimes this can be kind of a fun little game to play. You can try talking to it. Say something like, hello, overwhelm. That's telling me I'll never be able to do it all. I'm on to you. I've got this. And I don't actually need your help today. Thank you very much. Try something like that. You can use these 3 steps that I've just described with just about any feeling. The key is to be really curious about your response without judgment. So it's kind of like you're just watching yourself, like, look at that. This is what I woke up feeling, and this is what I think about it. And then try on something new and different. Because the truth is that we think we can just power through, but willpower won't work long term. It's not sustainable to just push through day after day. This is what leads us to burnout, to discouragement, and even giving up. But curiosity can energize rather than deplete us. This is how mindfulness and inner work can help bring us more contentment in our homeschooling. It's when we look inside of ourselves and see what's really going on instead of just going through the motions day after day and continuing in these old patterns that we've created. So if you're looking for more support for your homeschooling and how to show up for your children and family in ways that you would make you feel better about yourself, there are 2 ways that I can help you. The first is come join the Inspired at Home community, where we have masterclasses, coaching calls, and a warm community of homeschooling parents. We have over 30 masterclasses. We have 3 group coaching calls every month on Zoom, and we have this wonderfully warm community of homeschooling parents from all over the world. This is a monthly membership that you can join anytime and cancel anytime. You can find all the details at artofhomeschooling.com/inspired@home. You can also find all the details for everything I mentioned in here inside the show notes, and I'll tell you at the end where to find those. The second way I could help you is one-on-one support. So if you would prefer personalized help with your specific homeschooling needs, you can book a one-on-one mentor session with me, and I'll help you get all sorted out and on your way to homeschooling with more ease and confidence. And the details for mentor sessions can be found at artofhomeschooling.com/mentorwithjean. Thanks so much for joining me today. And remember, just get curious about your own feelings and thoughts. And then once you practice this for a while, you can begin to apply it to your children as well. Get curious about why they respond in certain ways to the lessons, to their siblings, to you. It's all about finding that sense of curiosity again so that you can distance yourself just a little bit from the judgment. I hope that helps you out today. And if you're starting a new homeschooling year, I'm wishing you all the best on your homeschooling journey. You can find the show notes for this episode at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 95, where you will find these 3 steps that I've outlined here today to help you remember to get curious, because curiosity is the best remedy for overwhelm. Take good care, and I'll see you next time.
That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.